All right, and we're back here with my man Brook Lopez. I really like Brook Lopez. He's just a funny dude, a player I've always liked, even when he was in New Jersey. So, or Brooklyn, I should say. So anyway, look at those gorgeous hot zones. Wow, hot zones everywhere. Um, let's look at his badges real quick, see if he has that hot zone hunter. Which at his shot ratings, he doesn't really need it, but it's just good to know. As you can see, he has Hall of Fame, and he does have Hot Zone Hunter. Wow. So if you're missing shots with this guy, it's for only one of two reasons. Either you're trash or he's trash. Let's see that release. Oh my god. He has Kenya Martin shot. Or a shot very similar. This is a dub. This character is making my lineup 100%. Let me tell you something. If you play DeAndre Ayton, you know how just comforting it is to have a center who can guaranteed hit like every shot where you don't have to guess their release. Let me tell you something, guys. His shot is the polar opposite of Isaiah J.R. Ryder's shot. Like, this is, as soon as you shoot with this card, you're gonna feel, oh wow, this is a good. Like, his shot is a superpower. He's so good at this. And mind you, I just started with this card. Like, you just know right away, you know? Like, he's so good at shooting that it justifies his weaknesses. Because you're bringing him in to do a job. And when a card is going to do a job that well, I'm trying to shoot from Hall of Fame, range extender range. When a card is going to do that job that well, you're just like, yeah, I'll take what you don't do well because you're going to get me 3 points on the other end. You're going to allow me to play with Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know? Um, so yeah, his shot, true dub. Like, that is a crazy good shot. Um, really, really remarkable. I can't wait to get him into like my own training mode and really learn this release, like learn the cues. Because I'm telling you, you can you can feel you're playing with power. It's like the first time I shot with, Odom or even Kenya Martin. Like Kenya Martin, he shoots like 70% or something like that for me in triple threat online. Like people leave him open, and after the third three, they're just like ready to quit out. So yeah, obviously I don't have a shot now. I just got the card, but trust me, you'll feel it when you shoot with the card. It's insane. All right, so let's look at his post launch. I like to look at that. It's pretty slow. Some characters, even though they have like really low speed with ball ratings, their post launch is fast. Uh, he does not have that issue. That was pretty quick. Going the other way, he's pretty quick. Going forward, he's a little slower than what I'm used to. Let's try going forward again. Yeah, going forward, he definitely doesn't go that way as well, which is a problem because if you try to go this way and you get stopped, people are gonna know you're going the other way. They can just wait for you to go this way and react to it. Whereas if you go the other way, he does it fast enough to capitalize on it. Nice dunks out of that too, which is great. Um, Look at his post fades. He has a little hippity hop going on. It's not the most efficient. Not the most efficient post fade. Trying to find the green window. It's a little later. There it is. But it's good. It's good. You get good at that, you'll be good at that. So you know, that's a recommendation. Good hook. Really good hook. This guy might be for real, guys. Okay, so there's two things that you need to know about Brook Lopez before you get into the card. If you're gonna pick up the card, if you have the tokens, or if you're further ahead in the market and you're gonna go back and waste some of those, Pink Diamond Galaxy Opal tokens on this card. The two things you need to know is what's his shot like, and is his pick and roll defense as bad as it promises to be. Obviously, we can't show the pick and roll defense in an individual breakdown of the card. You got to do that through gameplay. But I can tell you, offensively, this card is up there with anybody. Like as a shooter and a post scorer, he's got a beautiful hookshot animation, really gorgeous hookshot animation. Um, he's got a nice fade animation, nice post hop fade animation. Just like his hop towards the basket, whatever you call that weird like drop step move is good. Um, He dunks frequently and easily. He doesn't have any delays in his dunk package. This card is much more of a W than J.R. Ryder, in my opinion. If I had to choose between the two, I would definitely pick Lopez first because you can get a card at JR's value very easily. There's Amethyst cards I'd play ahead of J.R. Ryder. You know, I'd probably play Starks ahead of Ryder, to be totally honest with you, because Starks just has better general animations. Uh, Ryder, I mean, he's not terrible. I'm just putting him in context, you know. But Brook Lopez, it's still not super easy to find genuinely big centers. You see his wingspan is up there, who and like with a phenomenal release, you know. Like this guy has a phenomenal release. Wow, and that's his job. His job is to shoot, block shots, get boards, and I think this card is going to be good at that. Just if your opponent starts running pick and roll, you might have to make some adjustments, but right now we don't have a center that does everything perfectly. You know, we don't have a center that like if Kareem could hit threes, then we would. But Kareem is probably the closest because he has his individual post game, a great mid range shot. He's fast. He's great on defense. He does everything except hit the three, right? Um, but every other card is making some sacrifice. Either they're not that tall, or their shot release is not like elite, or they don't have range extender. Keep in mind, we're not just talking about DeAndre Ayton here. This guy has Hall of Fame range extender. So you can do your pick and roll from the logo with this guy and call pick and fades, and he's gonna hit. So yeah, this card is very good. This card is very good. Um, this is the best token rewards card I've personally seen so far. There's nobody else I would even put in my lineup, but this card is the real deal. So I'll look at his big man dribbles just for the sake of prosperity. So let's look at his speed with the ball. His speed with the ball is a lie. That's not a 25 speed with the ball, but his dribble is the truth. Wait, what's his speed with the ball actually? I might be getting his stats mixed up. Let's see. I mean, look at those 3-point ratings. Good lord. Uh, his ball handles at 35, which you do feel when you try to cross over. He has like the most horrible of crossovers. Um, but his speed with the ball is a 44, which is the same as Kareem's is when he's way too fast. So his speed with the ball feels pretty fast. Let's look at his. Ooh, never, ever press the right stick with this character. Don't do it. That is not his job. You don't ask fish to swim. Do not ask this guy to do any dribble moves unless you are trolling. Let's see. What, does he have any left stick like weirdness? No. No. A ball handler, he is not. There's one last ball handle thing we have to see, which is out of the post. What's his post top look like? Oh, it's swift. That's a kill. Can he cross over out of that? Yes, he can. Yeah. Yeah. This card is a W. I'm definitely going to be picking him up. He's going to be the first diamond card I pick up on my other account for sure. I'm very much looking forward to playing with Miss. Oh, did you see the way he glitched behind the three-point line off of that? That was crazy. Yeah, I like this card a lot. He will probably be absolute food in the pick and roll, but everything else about this card within his job description is really good. If it's between him and J.R. Ryder, I say it's a no contest. J.R. Ryder, a lot of good badges on a fairly poorly designed character. This card, this card is an elite shooter. I'm not going to call him an elite post-up scorer because I think that's the kind of thing that you have to find out by taking him into the field yourself, but I will say he looks like an elite post-up scorer to my eyes. So I'm going to, look at the chat real quick. How good is he 1 to 10 compared to the other centers? I would say at a minimum, I would put him in the A class of centers. I go by tiers, so S tier would be the highest, which I guess David Robinson is the only true S tier center in the game that like literally does everything. I think after David Robinson, you're talking about A plus tier characters. So like Bill Russell's he's not tall. Kareem can't hit a three. Um, Hakeem isn't the tallest character in the world, and he doesn't have limitless range. Like everybody is giving up something. Even David Robinson doesn't have limitless range, right? Like if Brook Lopez had speed or ball handling, I would, or like lateral quickness, then I would put him. I would have him as the best center in the game. As it is, I think he's in the group of second best centers in the game, behind David Robinson, and you'd probably throw. A lot of people might have Hakeem, Kareem, and who else? Bill Russell, Evo Bill Russell in that group. It depends on play style, what you're looking for, that kind of thing. Um, but I would say I probably like him over Dirk from what I've seen of Dirk. Now, caveat, I haven't played with Dirk myself, so I can't say that for sure. But I know Dirk's release from all of his other cards, and Dirk's release is not as good as this guy's release. This release is outstanding, and he's a big 7 feet too. Like he looks like he's 7 feet tall, just like the real Brook Lopez. So let me look more at the chat. You finally catch a live stream. Yo, Diomedes Galvin, what's up? What's up? How's the defense? Is he athletic enough? His interior defense is good. His perimeter defense is literally as bad as it comes. I'll show you right now. Yeah, his perimeter defense is alarming. His lateral quickness is a 25. He is absolute food. But he is a 60 in speed. So he's not a slow character. He's just slow in the shuffle, right? So if you're playing defense with him, what you have to do is you have to kind of mirror sign him. You got to walk around and then jump at it when they go to the basket. You cannot go into defensive stance with this character. You have to be preemptively kind of moving around, avoiding the opponent. Did I ever try Donovan Mitchell in the game? Yes, I did actually, and I like him very much offensively. Um, honestly, he's exactly what I thought in terms of Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is a really good offensive player with defense that doesn't measure up to the other characters and no playmaking badges. I actually did decide to. I like when I went to go sell my Donovan Mitchell, there were a bunch of them for sale for like really cheap. So I bought a few of them to turn them for MT profit, and I decided to keep one to have in my lineup. And like if I was going to compare Donovan Mitchell to say Isaiah Ryder, I would pick Donovan Mitchell as a two guard, even though he's 2 inches shorter. I think Donovan Mitchell is way better. Yeah, this Lopez is a W, man. I like this Lopez card a lot. I will use this Lopez on my @MeBro account because I really need a center badly on that account. On this account, at least I have like Embiid and Jaren Jackson and a few other cards. My Dwight Howard is pretty far into his Evo. But on the @MeBro account, we need Brook Lopez real bad. We need a big guy who has a really good release that can really shoot because we sold Aiton. But I can't put this card ahead of Aiton because I have to play this card in the game to see how he moves, to see if his speed, if he feels like Yao Ming or something like that on defense. But as a shooter, he's better than Aiton because he's Aiton with range extender. He's like a release as good as Aiton's, but he can shoot from anywhere. And he's so tall. Like Aiton's 7'1", and Brook Lopez is 7 feet, but Lopez looks like he's 7'1" in game. Like he's a very, very big 7'1" character model. So that's it for Lopez, guys. Never ever dribble with him, ever. Um, Beware if they try to put him in pick and rolls. Uh, he's going to be pretty solid on interior defense. He's going to be fairly elite at rebounding, and he is one of the best, if not the best, shooting big man in the game. Um, I would put him in that conversation very easily as the best shooting big man in the game. Um, even though I'm putting up terrible releases right now, but I'm talking to you guys. I'm not really paying attention. But just trust me on that. His shot is crazy, crazy, crazy good. Like really, really, really good. You can feel it right away. It's quick. It's really easy to see green window. He can do it from anywhere. And his animations, and this is why I say we got to try these cards out. And I'll leave you guys with this. Like, there's certain little in-between animations that we don't have a name for. How they catch it, how they move, how they go into their shot. Like right there, I did a little hezzy into his shot. You didn't see the hezzy because I canceled it. But his hezzy brings the ball to his hip. These little things that, like, when you play with a card for a long time, you see how his hezzy goes immediately into his shot? You see that? Now, it's not that you're going to be hesitating with your center a lot, but the thing is, Lopez goes straight up in the air. So when people are sagging off of you, waiting for you to have a really slow gather, he can go straight up in the air. These are the little things about the cards that if you put the time into a card, you're going to find these little things and get the most out of it. And this card just has that feel of a good card. Whereas Isaiah Ryder has the feel of a bad card. There's so many things you have to work around. Your 4 PD in, should you spend 60 tokens on Lopez? I would say that depends heavily on if you have the token rewards you want, if you're satisfied at point guard, or if you need Tony Parker. Like it's the other cards that dictate that decision, you know. But do I think he's worth 60 tokens? Yeah, I do, easily. Especially considering nothing else is like below Lopez is worth buying. I would say Brook Lopez is the first card genuinely worth buying, like that you could put on your team in the entire rewards market. Like if you go from bottom to the top, every other card has some kind of weird compromise, like no clamps or no range extender, or for some reason they can't play a position they're supposed to be able to play. Brook Lopez is the first like reward card on the ladder that you're picking up rewards. You're like, oh, I can use this guy. No, I say he's better than Bargnani as a shooter. I mean, I've shot with Bargnani, and I think Bargnani's shot is good, but I do think Bargnani's shot has like a little bit of a learning curve. Even people who shoot with Bargnani and say they like his shot, you see them missing shots because it's like a little funky. Brook Lopez, he snaps to his green release window. Like you almost, again, I'm chatting with you guys, and I'm still getting a decent number of greens and makes with this guy. You know, and I'm not paying attention even the least little bit. Like that's how good his shot is. It's just tremendously effective. So yeah, I would put him over Bargnani. And I think he's a better defender than Bargnani on the interior. Also, I think he has better fades and hooks than Bargnani. I would definitely put him above Bargnani. I would compare him more to Aiden than Bargnani. I think Bargnani's more like in the budget category, whereas Lopez, I wouldn't put him in the budget category. He just has a weakness, which is perimeter defense. Pick and roll defense is a weakness. Just because you have a weakness doesn't mean you're budget. I'm looking like, do you also have elite skills, and are you a liability in more than one way? And that's the only thing about this card that keeps me from saying, hey, they might have put the best center in the game in the rewards market. If this guy had lateral quickness, I would make an argument versus this card against a lot of cards. To be honest with you, because you just don't get that kind of shooting. Is he better than Embiid? I'm glad you asked. Let me see. Is Embiid on here? Oh my God, I don't have Embiid on this team. Oh, I do. So Embiid doesn't have range extender. Now, guys, I might be crazy, but I feel like Lopez looks bigger than Embiid. You know what I mean? Like he looks like he has a bigger character model. Embiid is going to be a way better defender. So all around, Embiid is going to be better. Embiid's a little faster. Embiid's a little more of a versatile scorer in the sense that, like, you know, he's going to be quicker moving left to right and that kind of stuff. But he doesn't have range extender, you know. He doesn't have the hot zones everywhere. He has a really nice release. So I would say it depends on how important range extender is to you in your center. You know, Brook Lopez has higher shooting ratings, and he has range extender, and hot zones, and hot zone hunter. So he's probably, you know, twice as good of a shooter as Embiid. But Embiid's not a liability in any like particular way. You know, so that's up to what you prefer, which is what it is with a lot of the centers. Every center has something about them to love or hate. You know, I would play Lopez with Giannis first, um, or even with a point guard like Westbrook first before I would play Embiid, because I can run really dumb high pick and rolls and get away with it. And it's just going to be like impossible to deal with this character. Whereas with Embiid, you can show and recover where he's shooting the ball from, and sometimes he's just going to miss shots because you know the ratings will kick in. Whereas I think Lopez, his ratings are so high that once you master his release, it's going to be you're dead. Kind of like Kenya Martin. Like Kenya Martin, his release is the kind where you master his release and you're just dead. You know. How do I feel about the Simmons Diamond? We will be going into the new cards after this. I'll see if I can get my hands on one, but if I can't do that, we'll at least do an overview of the two cards. I'm sure people are going to be charging a king's ransom for Ben Simmons. Alright, so I don't want this video to get too long. It's probably over long already, but long story short, thanks to everybody for watching, first of all. Thank you to all of the new subscribers, everybody enjoying the content. We've received a lot of kind words and feedback, and useful, valuable feedback from all of you. So I very much appreciate that. And you know, just again, thanks so much for watching, and looking forward to bringing you guys more content. So that's number one. But yeah, we'll try and get our hands on that card and see if we can get a deep dive into it, because he could be a serious problem, even though people do already have ways to defend Ben Simmons. So I think the biggest change for Ben Simmons is in the lower levels of play. You're going to see him all the time. Whereas, only like the MT millionaires and people who got really lucky had Ben Simmons before. But now everybody and their mother's going to have Ben Simmons. And if you don't have Giannis, which actually I don't on this account, Ben Simmons might work as a substitute, give you some versatility in your lineups if for some reason you didn't go for Giannis. I didn't go for Giannis because I wasn't doing that challenge on two accounts, and I don't want to play the same cards on two accounts. But I'm probably going to abandon my main account altogether because there's no point in having, you know, two accounts, one for myself and one for you guys. I just don't have the time to invest into both. So I'm just going to stick with the AdMeBro account most likely. And ben, I don't know if Ben Simmons makes that team because I have Giannis, but maybe he'll work as a backup. We'll see. I'll definitely be getting into it. You said 2K Gamer loves the channel. That's great to hear, man. What's up, B Wilson? Welcome to the chat. Again, welcome everybody to all those watching and so on and so forth. I hope you guys saved those tokens up and didn't buy bad cards because they definitely put some nice stuff on the rewards market. So yeah, so Brook Lopez for me gets a big giant W. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.